The Legion in Britannia requests reinforcements. This cannot wait.
The legions are engaged, Caesar. The Dacians press hard against the northern
Golden
defenses.
light
We must
breaks
send
across
aid
tiled
immediately. They
rooftops,
cannot hold the
drifting
line.
smoke, and the great stone monuments that have stood for centuries. Before the Emperor opens his eyes, Rome is already awake. Markets preparing, soldiers patrolling, bakers lighting the first fires of the day. Yet everything changes the moment he draws his first breath. The Empire waits for him, and it will not move forward without him. His chambers glow with soft dawn light as servants tighten the folds of his crimson robe. Even this simple act reminds him of the expectations pressed onto his shoulders. He steps into the long marble corridor, its columns casting tall shadows that stretch across the polished floor. Advisors stand ready, holding wax tablets crowded with messages from every corner of the empire. Distant warnings, border movements, trade shortages, petitions, omens. The day has barely begun, and already the world leans heavily toward him. In the palace courtyard, Praetorian guards rise to attention. Their polished helmets reflect the early sun, creating flashes of light that dance across the stone. A breathless messenger kneels, dust still clinging to his clothing. Reports from the frontier. Suspicious movement, nothing confirmed, but troubling enough to be noted. The Emperor listens in silence, each detail filing itself into the mental architecture of the day's decisions. He moves into the baths, where warm steam rises into the air in ghost-like curls. Here, he allows himself a rare moment of calm. Philosophers and scholars speak quietly about virtue, stability, and destiny. Some emperors ignore these men. Others depend on them. He listens, not for flattery, but for guidance in a world where a single choice can shake the marble foundations of the empire. From the balcony, he surveys Rome as the sun climbs higher. Children run through narrow streets, merchants shout over crates of new goods, and smoke from countless ovens rises into the sky. He sees beauty and chaos woven together in perfect tension. Rome is vast, magnificent, and alive. But the Emperor knows how fragile it truly is. A failed harvest, an ambitious enemy, a spark in a crowded forum. Even great empires can fall from the smallest beginnings. Inside the Senate chamber, the atmosphere is charged. Senators stand before towering walls and carved statues of past leaders, arguing fiercely about taxes, alliances, and the question of future expansion. The Emperor sits at the center, calm, still, listening. He reads motives behind every word: ambition, fear, pride, loyalty. When he finally speaks, his voice doesn't need force. The room quiets because his presence alone demands it. After hours of debate, the palace garden offers a moment of peace. Olive trees sway in the warm breeze as he walks past marble statues of emperors long gone. Some were loved, some feared. Some built Rome, others nearly destroyed it. Their stone eyes watch him silently. He wonders what history will carve from his own story. At the Praetorian training yard, rows of soldiers move with precision. Shields rise, spears thrust, sand swirls beneath disciplined footsteps. Their strength is his strength, their loyalty his protection. He acknowledges the centurion, and the drill intensifies, a silent promise of devotion. Blacksmiths hammer steel in workshops nearby, sparks bursting like stars in the dim light. New swords for distant legions, reinforced armor for looming conflicts. These tools are extensions of the Emperor's will, carried into lands he may never personally see.
Citizens fill the court chamber in the afternoon.
A grieving mother pleads for justice after bandits took her son. A merchant begs relief after a shipment vanished at sea. A veteran asks for recognition after decades of service. Their voices tremble, but the Emperor listens carefully. Justice is never clear, never simple. It requires balance, empathy, and the ability to decide even when every choice feels imperfect. Outside the walls, a new aqueduct rises. Enormous arches cast long shadows across the earth as workers haul stone into place. Water is life in Rome, and this structure will outlive him by centuries. These are the kinds of choices emperors make not for themselves, but for people they will never meet. The markets roar with energy as he walks through them. Fruits, fabrics, pottery, oil, spices, the wealth of dozens of cultures blending into one colossal city. A street performer plays a lyre as children laugh. A thief darts through a crowd before disappearing. Rome is imperfect, but it is unmatched. Messengers arrive throughout the afternoon. One brings news of unrest in an eastern province. Another presents a treaty proposal stamped with the seal of a neighboring kingdom. A third delivers coded warnings from spies traveling deep beyond Roman borders. Information becomes the emperor's battlefield, a quiet but deadly struggle for stability. As sunset approaches, warm red light spills across rooftops and temples. The emperor shares a modest meal with advisors on a balcony overlooking the city. They speak of tomorrow's decisions, of shifting alliances, and of the storms forming beyond Rome's reach. Every word becomes part of his silent calculations. Night falls. Torches flicker along palace walls, painting golden reflections across marble floors. The emperor walks through the quiet halls, listening to the near silence of a city that never truly sleeps. He visits the quarters of loyal staff and soldiers, offering rare words of gratitude. Loyalty is not demanded, it is earned. In his private chambers, he reviews the final scrolls of the day, signing decrees that will shape the future of millions. Each stroke of ink carries weight. Each seal pressed into warm wax sends ripples through the empire. At last, he steps onto his balcony. Rome stretches before him under a blanket of stars, vast, powerful, restless. The wind carries faint echoes from distant streets. He knows tomorrow will come with new burdens, new triumphs, new challenges, and the unending expectation that he alone will guide the empire. But for now, beneath the moonlit sky, he allows himself a single, quiet moment. A moment to breathe, to think, to be simply a man, before the world calls him emperor again.